Hi everyone, welcome to the Toon review. So last night under the lights again at St James's Park for the final game of 2016 at home to Nottingham Forest. Before the game, a fitting tribute to Pavel Cernicek as well, who passed away 1 year ago. It was very nice to see his big smiling face on the big screen while we applauded for a minute. And it was a fitting tribute to a classy man. So he'll always be a Geordie in our hearts. So rest in peace, Pav, and may it bring some good fortune on Newcastle United in the coming years. So the game kicks off, and Newcastle certainly started very, very differently to how they did on Monday. We went straight for the jugular with Nottingham Forest. A lot of us said before the game that we'd like to see a really attacking United side go out. Would he play 4-4-2? That's probably what we wanted to see, but it was never going to happen, was it? Rafa's very set in his ways with his number 10 role and his one striker. So we started very brightly though. Atsu looked very, very good down the left-hand side. Great pace. It was clear that that's what we wanted to do, play the ball to him most of the time and get some crosses in. But we're ahead very early doors, couple of minutes gone. We get a free kick about 25 yards out. Richie hits it with his left foot, takes a wicked deflection, goes in the other side to where the keeper's going, and we're 1-0 up. Richie's absolutely delighted. You could see the weight off his shoulders, the passion he showed when he scored. And it got the crowd going as well. You know, big noise inside St James's Park then. And you think, right, let's go for the jugular here. Let's really, really, really kill these guys off. Nottingham Forest don't really have the best of confidence at the minute. They haven't had the best of results. Not really a great team, if we're honest. It didn't happen though. After 10 minutes, we let them back into the game. Nottingham Forest started to have a few chances, started having more possession of the ball. And again, it got to the stage where it was looking like Monday again, where we just passing it along the back, we passing backwards, and it was difficult for us to start creating chances again. And one thing that we did miss, I felt yesterday, as well as Monday, to be fair, was creativity. And Shelvey is the one that brings that. You know, he can pick that pass out that the rest of us don't see. And clearly the rest of the players don't see, because, you know, Hayden works his socks off, but he's not that type of player. He can attack. He's very reluctant to shoot at times, and I don't know why. There was times where he got maybe 20 yards out, just outside the penalty area last night, and the fans were screaming at him to shoot, and he did a couple of times which were blocked. But then you think, you know, the rest of the time, just have a dig. It can't do any harm. But we were struggling again, and obviously Nottingham Forest then get back into the game. Ball comes across, Dummett jumps like a fairy, skims the top of his head. You know, and it's scrambled in really into the back of the net, and it's 1-1. Forest fans go crazy, and we struggling again. You think, oh God, not again. You know, is this home form going to keep going like this? And really, it was powder puff till half time. Second half, again, we start rallying a little bit, but Forest, to their credit, they kept coming as well. And then came the sending off. Now, whether you think it was fair or not, I think, you know, if we look back at the game down there, we'll think, right, well, you know, Karma's a bitch, to be fair. And that's what happened. That's my opinion. That was the opinion of the people around me. You know, Karma's a bitch, whether it was a sending off or not. Who really cares? They're down to 10 men. We then start to create a bit more chances. We bring Diame on in the middle of the park. Good decision for me, because he actually, I know I've given Diame a bit of hammer this year, but he looked a better player in the middle of the park last night. Some beautiful passes, some really nice skill that we saw him take on a few players as well. So that was good to see. And then we go 2-1 up. Long ball played in by Dummett. It was all played in slow motion. You know, it was headed and then it went up in the air, and I don't know what the Forest keeper was doing, but he clearly didn't know where his goal was, and Dwight Gale volleys it into the other side of the goal. Now, if you look at it in slow motion, he just didn't have a clue where he was, the Forest goalkeeper. It was a very poor goal for them to concede, but a massive, massive relief for us. And then the third goal that we score, well, that just typified you know, the match really, didn't it? The ball comes in from, I think it was Richie crossed it in, and then it sort of hits Dwight Gale's chest, and it bounces into the goal. So we 3-1 up. It's going to be a comfortable win now. You know, but was the performance last night any good? And I asked the guys around me last night, I says, you know, we're 3-1 up, but do you think we've played well? And they said no. And I think, you know, in fits and starts we played well. Certainly the first 10 minutes we were very good, but we didn't seem to keep that tempo going. And that's a bit of a shame, because I think if we'd kept that tempo going, we would have absolutely thrashed them last night. They were a very, very lacklustre team, Nottingham Forest. When you've got Nicholas Bentner up front, who, my God, how he gets a game, I do not know. This guy used to claim he was one of the best strikers in the world when he was at Arsenal. Long way from that, mate. Long way from that. The Nottingham Forest fans were actually singing for a sombre longer after 8 minutes. That's how much faith they obviously have in Nicholas Bentner. So, you know, we win the game 3-1, and yes, we're top of the league. There's still some work to be done. I think in January, we need to bring in some creativity. Not just put it all on Shelvey's shoulders. Maybe another midfielder, maybe another winger, just so we've got that creativity. I think we're okay up front as long as we keep Mitrovic and Gale. Perez, for me, he can go. I'm sick of talking about Perez this year, getting chance after chance after chance, and he keeps letting everybody down. And I know for a fact that a lot of Newcastle fans agree with me because I've seen it on Twitter and I've heard it in the ground. How many times does Perez get knocked off the ball so easy? So easy. The guy's got bags of talent, but he just gets knocked off the ball, and it's such a shame. Because he was really coming on leaps and bounds the last couple of years at Newcastle, but he's gone backwards as far as I'm concerned. You know, leave a comment if you disagree with me on that, but he gets knocked off the ball. He loses the ball so easily these days. He's just not the player he was. And also, is there a problem, do you think, between Mitrovic and Rafa? Because, again, last night, Mitrovic gets about 5 or 6 minutes on the pitch, certainly not enough to do anything. I would have thought when we went when Forest went to 10 men, why not bring him on then and go 2 up front and really go at Forest? But we didn't. You know, he stick to bringing Diame on, and then he brought Lazar on, and then he brings obviously Mitrovic on with 5 or 6 minutes left. I just, it's strange to me, and I don't know whether there's a problem between the two of them. But Perez was the one that was disappointing for me last night again, and surely he's had enough chances now to prove himself. He just doesn't seem like he. You know, sometimes you look at him and think, does he want to be there? You know, when he goes down and he's sitting on his arse, screaming to the referee all the time. You know, just get up and work for the ball. That's all we ask as fans, just work. And I don't think any of that's there with Perez at the minute. But, like I say, on the flip side of it, we finished the league. We finished top of the league for 2016. Moving into 2017, hopefully a couple of new players come in. Hopefully we stay at the top of the league now, because that's where we belong. We belong back in the Premier League. It's a long scrap till the end of the season in this division. A lot of games to be played. We've now got to go away a couple of times before we're at home again. So, you know, we've got Blackburn, we've got some tough games. Brentford away is going to be a tough game as well. And then Rotherham in a couple of weeks' time, so at home. So that should be, if you look at the teams we're against, Blackburn really struggling. Hopefully 3 points there. We've got Brentford away. Brentford are a very, very good side at home, and it's a small ground, it's compact, but we did a job at Burton, and I think we can go and do a similar job at Brentford. And then at home to Rotherham, that is a game that surely Rafa is looking at 3 points as well. So it could be a very good January for Newcastle United, especially hopefully now the window's going to be open tomorrow and we start bringing in some new players. Maybe only 1 or 2, but enough to just keep us up at the top of the league, do the job, get us promoted, and then build again in the summer. So, hope you've enjoyed the video. Like I say, it's a new channel. Obviously, I had to shut down the old one. So, if you did follow the old one, give this one another follow. If you're new to the channel, do subscribe. Obviously, I'm trying to build this up again from scratch. You can catch me on Facebook at the Toon Review. Again, on Twitter at the Toon Review. And now on Instagram as well. Just search for the Toon Review on there. If you have any comments you'd like to leave about the performance, or what you think, who you think Rafa should be bringing in the summer, do leave a comment down below as well. I will answer all the comments as well. Do hit the like button as well, and I'll catch you on Monday night for Monday night's review of the Blackburn away game. In the meantime, have a great new year. Take care.